Okie doke. Let me go ahead and make sure that we are live. I'm actually just going to go ahead and pull up the stream and make sure everything's working okay. Okay. I mean, hey, it looks good to me. Um, leave that open actually. There we go. Perfect. Mm, boom. All right. So, whew, took a bit of a setup, but hello. This is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. You might ask, why am I playing this version? Well, there is a very cool patch that fixes up the game and basically addresses like all the problems I really had with the original like retail release. Mainly stuff like the Zora swimming, Deku scrub, hopping, uh, some input related things, some quality of life features, stuff like that. So, um, I really like the N64 version, but the 3DS version also has really good graphics. I'm actually playing with, you can see Henrico's HD texture pack, and it looks gorgeous. It looks great. I think I really like the visuals of the 3DS version a lot. I think they're really good, but like that's that N64 stuff that had been kind of regressed in 3D. Um, like I was just talking about the Zora swimming and the hopping and some of the problems this version has on its own normally, um, are definitely remedied by the patch. So, uh, I think this is like one of the better ways to play this game. But I think both versions are worth seeing. I just think the game looks stunning with Henrico's textures and upscaled and with proper reshade and all that. So, this is the version of the game that I chose for the playthrough. And yeah, I mean, beyond that, I'm just kind of letting this intro play out. Um, so yeah, I mean, not really much to say other than that. It's Majora's Mask. I know people have issues with the 3DS version, but it's amazing how, at least for me, the 3D restoration project really did fix a lot of the glaring issues I think most people would have with the this particular version of the game. So, uh, I figured it'd be important to explain which version we're playing and why. So I think this way you get the best of everything, the best of the visuals, and the best quality of life. I know there's a case to be made playing any of these source ports that are available, or PC ports, I mean, but this is what we're going with. So enough rambling. I'm also very tired, so disclaimer. But we're gonna go ahead and just do slot number 3. And you may notice some pop in with textures and whatnot. That's just due to a setting that I have on that kind of helps performance. So we're starting with a clean game on this one. We'll just go ahead and call him Link. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start the game. Oh my goodness, yeah, Henrico's texture pack looks absolutely amazing. Oh my god. I actually played through the game recently, but I didn't add any of the textures or anything until after I beat the game, so a lot of this I actually haven't even seen. I plan on doing a 100% playthrough, getting all the heart pieces and all the major like collectibles and whatnot. Pretty much doing everything there is to do in the game. But yeah, my goodness, like I can't even explain how good this particular pack looks, and just with the reshade that was included and everything, it looks stunning. But yeah, wow, it's crazy. There was something I was gonna say. I was trying to remember what it was, but it'll come back to me. Alright, and now we're in it. I was actually going to add that I don't know where I would put Majora's Mask in, like, if I were to rank the Zelda games, but it's a contender for my favorite. There's something just oddly something about the tone of this game and... Sorry, one second. Alright, so what I was saying is, I, like, judging all the Zelda games that I played, I often go back between this one, or Twilight Princess, or A Link Between Worlds as probably my favorite games. I don't think I'm missing any of, like, off the top of my head that I would really be like... Oh, oops. But this is a contender for my favorite Zelda and one of my all-time favorite video games, so I'm super happy to be playing it. Something about the atmosphere and the tone, the soundtrack, the experience, the way it all kind of feels like a, you know, a nightmare in a way, but the game, like, it's weird, right? You know, it's extremely dark, and there's some very depressing elements to it, but it's almost kind of like it's this kind of melancholy that I can't really explain. There's something... My goodness. Something about the emotion that this game invokes, like, constantly that just... I can't even describe. You know, and it's more just comparing it to the other Zelda games. This one is extremely dark and twisted in a lot of ways, so... I think most people would say the atmosphere is such a crucial part to why Majora's Mask is such a, you know, an unforgettable experience. And the soundtrack is incredible. And so that's kind of the basic premise that we have so far is, you know, Link was traveling and got ambushed by the Skull Kid, who was wearing Majora's Mask, and you basically get turned into this Deku scrub, and you find this mask salesman, and he's basically talking about how you need to get Majora's Mask back from him. He only has 3 days, and that's kind of it. It just kind of throws you in. You don't really need to have played any prior Zelda game. Alright, and we're off. So this is one of the main hubs in, not hubs, but one of the main, like, iconic locations in Majora's Mask, Clocktown. So, let's see, we're gonna go ahead and get this ferry. And something I want to mention, like for example, with the 3D restoration patch that we're using, I mentioned the Deku Scrub hopping being fixed. Now it functions basically how it did in the N64 original. In the original 3DS version, you know, without any patches or anything, they kind of broke it to where you don't really retain your momentum in a consistent way, and it kind of breaks a lot of segments, but this patch basically restores that particular behavior, makes it function the way it should, which is great, so... I'm gonna go ahead and just deposit what I have. There we go. Alright, so we just need to return that fairy to the fairy shrine. And yeah, like I'm gonna continue gushing about it, but this texture pack just looks amazing. We're not gonna interact with anybody just yet. We're gonna gun it for the Great Fairy in the Fairy's Fountain. There we go. Alright, so basically what that first power does is give you the ability to blow bubbles, which is kind of like a ranged projectile you can see here, which we're gonna need that, so that's very important. And you have to, it's not optional, so. You see this guy right here? This little kid just basically practicing with this blowgun, and he talks about popping the balloon. So, we're gonna go ahead and take Tattle's advice. And talk to the kid. Alright, so pretty fair deal. You just have to find all the kids, play hide and seek, and you'll get the code for the observatory. So, first kid's gonna be back here, behind the little slide. Okay, I'm pretty sure the next kid is gonna be... Actually see him over the railing back there, but, I'm gonna go ahead and hop up here. That's kid number 2, up on this roof of the inn. What tile? Thanks. Alright. I'm pretty sure there's one in this box. Yep, there he is. There's only 2 left now. I think one is going to be up these stairs in the little area. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, the laundry pool. Yep, there he is. There's only 1 kid left. Let's go get him. I believe the last one's going to be up here. In this area of Clocktown. That's him walking right there, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. Why did... There we go. Got him. Perfect. Or 1, 2, 3, 5. So they give you the code, and now you can go into the observatory. So before anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And so just like that, they let you into the observatory, and yeah, basically you're part of the bombers. So, well, at least you're part of the, you know, you get the code, so. So we're just gunning it for the end of this place, which is going to have something we need. Go ahead and pop that balloon. If you don't pop it, you can't go up the ladder, so. Alright. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Oh, I love this song, man. Gonna take it in. Ooh. I didn't mean to approach him from that angle. Oh, there we go. So he asked if you want to look into the telescope, and, you know, looking around and whatever, you might not see anything at first, but so. Alright, so we're gonna go out and investigate what just fell from that moon. That's another one of the big iconic things from Majora's Mask, is that moon. It is definitely a, yeah. Definitely creepy. So we got the moon's tier. Basically, we want this because there's someone we can trade with. Battle's gonna tell us about gear, which the hell is going on with that texture. Anyway, so we need that the moon's tier so we can trade it with this Deku Scrub that was actually in the first area of Clocktown. He will give you his spot that you can use to reach the ledge that opens on the eve of the carnival. So what we're actually gonna do, I think we can do this, by the way. We're gonna go ahead and speak with the Scarecrow. So I'm gonna say dance. And this is basically just a way that you could fast forward the time early in game. I'm just gonna keep saying yes. And basically, we just want to do this until the night of the final day. And like Tattle mentioned, that door only opens on the eve of the carnival, so hence why we're fast forwarding time so quickly. So now we're at the dawn of the final day. And we're only going to be able to do it one more time. And there we go. Alright. So we're gonna actually just start gunning it back towards the center of Clocktown. Just gonna keep going. And like I said, we're going to be going for 100%, so any heart pieces or stray fairies or masks, you know, major quest lines, we're going to be doing it all. So gonna go ahead and just deposit. Okay. So, like I mentioned before, this is the flower that we're talking about. If you walk up to it, this Deku Scrub basically gets mad at you for using his spot without permission. Or being on it, rather. So we're gonna talk to him. And this guy's coincidentally talking about the Moon's Tear, which he's saying if we had one, he would give you the Deku Flower spot. Which we're gonna go ahead and present him with ours. And he'll give you the spot. And so make a note that he says you can sell it if you don't want it anymore, so something to keep in mind. So you're going to go ahead and use the flower and fly up to the top of the block in the center of town. And that is going to give us our first heart piece, which, let me make sure, yeah, that is our first, so. And Tattle points out that we can't use the stairs until the eve of the carnival, basically, which is coming up, so. Luckily, time's going relatively quickly. Yeah, it looks pretty hellish right now. Like, sky's all red, and, you know, there's that. Yeah. I guess I can actually talk about reshade. So I have a reshade on top of the texture pack that I'm using. So it's Henrico's reshade, which just kind of doing a little comparison there. definitely very nice. Adds a little bit of you know, you can see like especially under Deku Link's face there, adds a little bit more lighting and shadow, and gives the game this like kind of orangish glow. It's really nice. So um, yeah, you could definitely emulate the N64 version and do stuff like reshade or play around with the PC port. I just again, this is the personal setup I chose for playing the game. I think it looks the best. I think it. Uh, I don't know. I just enjoy it. So. I think it's gonna go till 12, so we're almost there. I think. God, I hope. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So the clock strikes at midnight on the festival. So we're gonna gun it for the clock tower. We're gonna go ahead and shoot a bubble at him. There we go. Got the Ocarina of Time. Suddenly, memories of Princess Zelda come rushing back to you. Alright, so we're gonna take the instrument back to the mask salesman. And he's going to teach us a very important song. So now we kind of have the basic premise of the game, which is, oh my gosh, one second. So now we have the premise of the game, which is basically that Skull Kid, who we initially ran into, actually has one of the most powerful things basically in existence, and he's, you know, up to no good, which basically, yeah, we need to get that mask back. He was doing some crazy shit with the moon, so that's kind of the basic premise, but they mentioned the 4 different places that we need to go, so... So, one of the main gimmicks is anytime you play this Song of Time, you'll go back in time, obviously, and it'll reset the 3-day cycle, so... The overall structure of the game, you basically want to get as much done during a 3-day cycle as you can before you go back in time, because anytime you go back, certain things will reset. You know, certain quest lines or whatever. You keep certain rewards, but that's kind of the overall structure of the game here. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one heart piece that I'm thinking of. And this next heart piece, which I think is our second one, is going to be up here. I have to make these short little jumps and jump into the tree. I actually don't know if I have to go get the fairy again. I'm pretty sure I do, but let me just see. Yeah, I figured. Okay. I actually don't know what she gives you. I mean, I know we already got it. I don't know if Tattle's just being unhelpful and telling you the same thing, but I just want to make sure, because I don't want to accidentally miss something because of a stupid reason. So we're gonna go get the stray fairy from over here. I took the long ass way, but it's okay. Just need to grab the fairy from the laundry pool. I want to say there were multiple stray fairies in the original. I think the remake basically just cut down on the number of them, probably because it's so early on in the game. They didn't want to risk certain players not finding them, which I know would probably be a questionable change for some people. I don't really care, to be honest. There's only like 3 of them, I think, and, you know, not really that hard to find. It more just bogs down time, honestly, but so it doesn't really bother me too much. And yeah, I'd rather just make sure that we're not missing anything vital by returning the fairy as a human. And so that's another one of the gimmicks of this game, is if I open the menu, you have a mask stab, which you can see right now, we only have 1 mask. Cool thing about the restoration project is it adds some nice quality of life stuff. Oops. And one of those features is, oh my gosh. Alright. Basically, extra button maps, so I can use the bottom, tabs here on a controller, and then the other thing is being able to use the masks on a controller without having to waste item slots mapping them to them, which is huge if you don't know. So huge quality of life features. So and that's also a main mechanic, is the masks all have different abilities. There's 2 different kinds of masks, I would say. There are regular masks that, you know, have their own abilities and whatnot, and then there are the transformation masks. The Deku mask is a transformation mask. So whenever you put it on, you can be a Deku scrub, and you can go back to being a human, and that's just basically how that works. So I'm just making sure that we're not missing anything from this. I'm pretty sure she gives you something, so I want to just make sure. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So that's our first non-transformation mask. So she kind of mentioned it already, but you can see here, back in Stray Fairies that are lost in temples, the mask's hair will shimmer when one is nearby. So basically, if you enter a room where a Stray Fairy is present, it will not only alert you that one is in the room or near you by shimmering, but it'll also draw them towards you. So if you put it on, they'll naturally just start to move over to where you are, which is a very helpful feature. I think it's actually necessary to get a few in the game, so keep that in mind as we're moving along. So I'm just kind of trying to grab the little things that I'm thinking of here in the beginning of the game. There's not a ton we can do just yet. We ideally should progress along the main path just to get things rolling. But something we can do. We can play the Song of Time backwards. And this will basically slow time for everything. And I think the way that you figure that out is by speaking to the Scarecrow. And then the other melody that we can learn, you'll notice it's recorded in here now that we have the inverted song, is going to be... the Song of Double Time. So that's going to let us jump to any hour that we want. I think in the original, it didn't give you precise control. I think you can only jump to either the day or night, which is kind of annoying, but is what it is. I'm not going to mess around too much in Termina Field just yet, because we do need a few items in order to get some of the things I wanted to. Yikes. So, yeah, that's totally not good. So that kind of gives some context as to how they all met each other. The Skull Kid was kind of alone, and just kind of ran into the fairies when he didn't really have anybody, and then, as you can see, he's kind of become evil. So, not good, not ideal. But, yeah, definitely we'll be seeing more about the characters in there. Getting bits and pieces of information as the game goes on about the world of Termina and the people who live in it. What is this? Got a Deku stick, which is going to be very helpful. Basically just a torch. Or you can use it as a torch or other things. Can I not get that? Weird. Okay. Perfect. Well, yeah, that's why I almost didn't go down that one, but we need to start saving money when we can. Let's see. So up here is the fishing hole. Oops. So we have the fishing hole and the firing range, but we need a bow to participate in the firing range, so we can't go there quite yet. Trying to do a spin attack. Alright, so enough screwing around. There is a heart container up in this tree that we can get. The keys is what they're called. Which... Oh, bad, never mind. Excuse me. If you just get rid of it, and then go ahead and climb the tree, there is a heart piece up in here that we can go ahead and grab. Very nice. And if you've never played Zelda before, if you get 4 of those are going to increase your maximum health. Now we have one of the best NPCs to come out of this game, so we're gonna go ahead and obviously talk to him. I'll go ahead and buy the Woodfall map, just because we don't need the Snow Peak one yet, or whatever it is. Alright, so we're gonna press on and enter Woodfall, or the Southern Swamp. Excuse me. Like I said, it's super cool because I haven't seen a lot of these areas with the pack yet, so. So now we have the Song of Soaring, which is going to be huge for us. This is one of the most important songs in the game. You will be using this a lot. As you can see, it explains that it will swoop you up and send you to any owl statue that you have activated. So you can see here, if I go ahead and hit the owl statue and activate it, or you can just interact with it. In the remake, you can save with these, but the other thing you can do once you do that, it'll bring up any other owl statues you've interacted with in the game and allow you to travel back and forth seamlessly. So, for example, I'll just go ahead and do it once. Pretty nice mechanic, very helpful. It's just like the equivalent of fast travel, so just gonna go ahead and put in all my rupees. I more did that just to show it off. And yeah, I'm gonna talk to any NPCs that I can. So, basically this guy wants a Deku Scrub title deed. Well, the town title deed, which is the one we had earlier, but obviously we can't really do anything with that right now. Well, we can, but I'm gonna wait a little bit on that. So this guy's telling us about a boat cruise that we can take, but the ticket office is closed, and we have to inquire at the potion shop. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way on down there by skipping across the water. So the water is poisonous, so we can't swim as regular Link, so we're gonna have to use Deku Scrub Link here, because he can skip just across it without, you know, getting hurt or anything like that, getting poisoned. Okay, let's see. So this is the potion shop. I'm just gonna go ahead and climb to the very top of it. So she basically tells us that her sister is missing and was in the forest looking for mushrooms. I think it didn't come back, so this is the one where we want to go. We're gonna go ahead and go in. And basically the idea here is if you go in the wrong area, it sends you all the way back to the beginning. So we just need to follow this monkey, and we'll play little tricks here and there, make you think he's going in one. So just make sure you stay enough behind to where you know which one he actually goes in. So here she is. Oh, I realized I made a fatal error here. Actually, no, I didn't. Never mind. So I think you can go, you're supposed to go here first, but basically, yeah, she's gonna say she needs something that gives her energy, so we can at least go ahead and go back to the potion shop and tell her that we found her. Oops. So we get our very first bottle in the game that also has the red potion in it. So we're just gonna go ahead and redo that little maze. Alright. Now that we're back, we're just going to talk to her, and we can go ahead and give her the red potion, which is going to heal her. now we can just exit any of these areas. And now that she is going to be, now that she's healed, basically, we can go ahead and get a cruise. Which the cruise is going to go ahead and take us to the next part that we want to go to. Ow. So we can go ahead and talk to her. She'll give us the cruise, and we get the picto box, which can store one picture. And I believe you can take any of the cool pictures you find in the game and sell them to that guy for a decent amount of money, depending on what it is. So there's not really a whole lot you can do on here. It's kind of more about just taking in the scenery. Very nice. There we go. So we are at the Deku Palace. The swamp water is poisonous. Please watch your step. Are you disembarking? Yes. So this monkey basically wants us to follow him and help his brother. He's been watching us. And we're now at the Deku Palace. So you just have to be a Deku Scrub in order to get in. Normally they don't let you in here, but there's a monkey that is being punished. So we're allowed to see his shame, basically. That's the explanation as to why we're allowed in. And you can talk to some of the people here. So we're gonna go talk to the monkey, see what he has to say about the whole thing. So we gotta help this guy. But we talk to the monkey out here. So we gotta get magic beans in order to get there, but really quickly, there is a heart piece that we can get by doing this stealth section. I think it's this one anyway. So we just want to be really careful here. Maybe I have the wrong one. Oh no, this is wait a minute. That works. Alright, so basically this guy is a bean seller, and he gives you the magic beans that you can use. And to kind of demonstrate what they do, we're just going to plant it in this soft spot, as he said. And then if you scoop some water and drop it on top, it basically turns into this weird levitating platform. And with that, we can get some red rupees. So... I'm gonna go ahead and buy one. We're actually just gonna go over here. And we're gonna go ahead and get the other heart piece. We could come back much later with another strat, but I'd rather just clear it out now. It's not a difficult heart piece to get. So I believe it's this one that we need to go in. This one gives you the heart piece. I'm pretty sure. Need that guy to turn around. Fuck. Damn it. So the good news is if you get kicked out, it's not a big deal. Just sends you back. I don't know why I was tripping there. I forgot that they can't see you through the plants. Be careful. Nice. So now we've gotten 4, so that's going to give us a new heart container. I'm just going to touch him so he catches me. There we go. Alright, there we go, nice. So this is the spot in question. You can also access that bean area from out here, that's probably the preferred way. They just have it connected to the garden, so I guess if you mess something up, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the bubble here is going to be your defense against these scrubs that you can't exactly attack head on. But a really cool trick that you can, maybe not trick, but mechanic, is as long as you don't move, the flying ability, as you can see, if you fly for too long and like move forward, see, start kicking his feet, which kind of indicates that you're running out of like space to keep flying, and he's gonna fall soon. But if you just hold still, he'll very, very slowly descend, but it won't actually make you fall. So you can use that to your advantage a lot. There's a platform, you can just kind of hover in the area where you know it's going to be, and time it that way, instead of having to time it in a very specific way. So kind of a very useful trick that helps with some of the mini games that involve the using the Deku Flower. Now we're in the Royal Chamber. So he wants us to show our instrument. So he's basically being falsely accused. So now we have to go to the temple. Alright, so now we have the means to open up the temple. So to get to the temple, you just have to take these little lily pads up here. You're gonna have to deal with these weird creatures. Basically, the best thing you can do is just go under the, get their attention, get them to come to you, go onto the pad, and just pop out. Or you could do that. That's another reason that I actually prefer 3D, is being able to use the motion controls for stuff like aiming on in certain parts. It's just very helpful. You know, there's a lot of little stuff that uh, it's more just personal preference, I would say. And I do want to clarify, I know I've said this game is a remake, but it is essentially the exact same game at its core. It is like the areas, the layouts, it's all the same. It's more just a visual remake, but that is what kind of pissed some people off, is there are some changes to the gameplay that, like, you know, regress some things. Like I mentioned, the Deku scrub hopping, excuse me, is if you don't have the patch, it's definitely off. But here it feels how it should. You know, various little things, but like overall, it is the same game. So that's what's very nice about this. This is a remake. I think they did a really good job in updating a lot of these areas, and at least visually, they all pretty much play the same, you know, like. So, you know, I'll always say with remakes, I think the original's always worth checking out as well. Even though something like Resident Evil Remake is one of the greatest games of all time and probably the best remake, like, the original is still worth absolutely checking out. Oh my god. There we go. Oops. There we go. So really quick, we're going to go ahead and go back to Clock Tower and drop in our 99 rupees that we've been sitting on. Actually wasn't paying attention, so I have no idea how long it's been like that, but we want to just make sure that we're dropping anything we have, any chance we get. So there is I believe it's a heart piece that we can get here. There we go. All you need to do is go right where I just went and fly over here. And you're just gonna want to continue on this path. I don't know why I keep doing that. That was really close. Oh my god. I was hoping that would get him, but you have to use the nuts to stun him. So what we're after is this chest over here. This chest over here, I believe, is going to have our heart piece that we want. I know it's only 3 rupees, but you'll see why I'm doing this in a sec. And just like that, we are at the first dungeon in Majora's Mask, the Woodfall Temple. I really don't want him to hop, but I just know he's going to. Okay, there we go. So, I'm probably gonna wrap the stream there. I am getting very tired, but I think that was a solid first stream. Hopefully I got the audio balance just right, or at least where it needs to be. But yeah, that is where I'm going to leave things. I'm going to save so that for next time we can go ahead and start the Woodfall Temple, but that is going to do it for my first Majora's Mask stream, so I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.